Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm sure all of us have a financial goal or dream, which could be buying a new car, a new house, taking care of our families financially, or maybe even becoming a millionaire or a billionaire and preserving that wealth for as long as possible. But as they say, every journey begins with the single first step. And the first step which we need to take on our journey to our financial goal or dream is to start effectively managing our personal finances. So in today's video, we are gonna discuss what personal finance is all about and what are some of those practical aspects of personal finance management which we need to know to get started on this journey. And please stay tuned till the end because we are going to discuss 3 practical aspects or practical action items so that we can get started on this journey right away. So let's begin. What is personal finance? Personal finance is all about effectively managing our income and expenses to generate enough savings, to continuously use those savings to make investments and grow our wealth, and at the same time protect or guard them from any unforeseen or adverse events. As you can see, these capitalized terms each represent the different aspects of personal finance management, and each of them deserves a separate discussion, and we will hopefully cover them in our future videos. But in today's video, we are going to start with the most important and the most logical starting point, which is effectively allocating our income or effectively managing our expenses. In order to understand and appreciate why this is the logical starting point, let's put up those 2 financial statements again. As we have discussed in our earlier video on cash flow patterns, the first step to generating wealth is to generate savings which can be used to make investments or buy assets. But as we know, savings or surplus cash is nothing but income minus expenses. And as we all know, our income typically is fixed and only changes maybe once in a year after the annual appraisals. So the only thing we are left to manage effectively to generate enough savings on a regular basis is to manage how we allocate our income or how we manage our expenses. Given that how we allocate our income or how we manage our expenses is a very fundamental and basic problem, there are lots of opinions and suggestions on this topic. But the one simplified and general budgeting rule which was popularized by Senator Elizabeth Warren in her book All Your Worth, The Ultimate Lifetime Money Plan is the 50-30-20 rule. According to this thumb rule, 50% of our income after tax should be used towards necessities or our basic needs. 30% should be used towards our wants or the various luxuries we want to engage in. But the balance 20% should be saved and should be invested towards achieving our financial goals. As you can see, there's no one-size-fits-all because a lot depends on your level of income, the quality of lifestyle which you want to live, and the financial goal which you have set for yourself, and the timeline which you have set to achieve those financial goals or dreams. So we're going to put forward a more detailed and more comprehensive income allocation plan, particularly for those in the early days of their career. Of course, we'll discuss how this allocation should change as you progress in your career. Let us now take a closer look at this detailed income allocation plan. The idea here is to develop a habit early on in our careers to allocate our income after tax into 5 different heads or buckets. The first of those buckets or heads is our necessities, which could be for housing, that is rent, for clothing, for food, to pay the bills, or the various regular monthly expenses which we need to incur every month. Given that at the start of our career, our income typically is low, our spend on necessities as a percentage of our net income is usually higher. So the suggested allocation for necessities is about 60%. And this allocation as a percentage of our net income should come down as we progress in career and as our income increases, because our spend on necessities should not proportionally increase with our increase in income. For example, if you're currently earning 10 lakhs per annum and you spend 60% on your necessities, which is about 6 lakhs per annum, if your income increases to say 1 crore, your spend on necessities should not be 60 lakhs or 60%. It should be much lower. So as we progress in career and as our income increases, our allocation towards necessities as a percentage of our net income should come down. Our second allocation should be towards an emergency fund to take care of any medical emergencies or other emergency which you might face in the future. This is critical to avoid taking on high-cost debt or liabilities at the time of such emergencies. And the typical amount or the typical size of an emergency fund should at least cover 2 to 3 months of our regular monthly expenses. The allocation to our emergency fund at the start of our career should at least be 10%. And of course, this allocation may no longer be required after a sizable fund has been set aside, except to enhance the amount commensurate to our increase in regular monthly expenses on account of lifestyle upgrade. The third and my favorite allocation is towards investing in ourselves. This could be for buying books, online courses, getting a certification, getting another degree, attending a coaching, or various resources which are required to enhance our skills on an ongoing basis. This is critical at the early stages of our career because we need to continuously learn and enhance our skills so that we can improve our capability to earn more as we go forward. And of course, we should try and also develop skills which can help us earn multiple sources of income later on to enhance and grow our wealth. The allocation towards investing in ourselves at the start of our career should at least be 10% because this is the best form of investment we can make at this stage of our career. And even as we progress in career, we should continue to learn and develop new skills and allocate a certain percentage of our income towards learning expenses. But this allocation also can come down as a percentage of our net income as we progress in career. The fourth allocation should be towards hobbies or fun. The idea here is it should not be about all work and no play. We should also have fun, but we should allocate a certain amount towards them so that we can enjoy them fully and of course guilty-free. At the start of our career, the allocation towards our hobbies or fun should be about 10% of our net income. The fifth and the most important allocation is our allocation towards investments. This is the most important allocation because this is what will help us grow our wealth and also achieve our financial goals or dreams. And the idea here is to develop this habit early on in our career and allocate at least 10% of our net income towards regular investments to grow our wealth. And of course, our allocation towards investments should continue to increase as we progress in career. This is because, as we just discussed, the allocations to the other 4 buckets should come down as a percentage of our net income as we progress in career. And that extra money should regularly be used towards making more investments and growing our wealth. So if you are able to maintain a strict discipline of allocating our income under these 5 different buckets on a regular basis, we would have set up a very strong foundation to effectively manage our personal finances and achieve our financial goals or dreams. As you can see, effectively managing our expenses or allocating our income as a concept is very basic and simple. But what is most challenging and important is taking the required actions or making the required changes. Hence, as promised, we are going to discuss those 3 critical tips or action items which are required to initiate the changes. The first tip or action item is review of your monthly expenses. In my own experience, this simple step is what could result in significant positive changes in your spending or money habits. If you're single, do it alone. But if you're married, please do this as a couple. Me and my wife Ching also has been doing this since we got married. And this is the one exercise which we look forward to every month. What we soon realized was, even though we didn't try to consciously change our spending habits, but a simple regular review of our monthly expenses led to significant positive changes in the way we manage our expenses. The second tip or action item is to allocate at least 10% of your net income towards savings or investments. This is because it's all about the habit, and we need to develop that habit as early as possible at the early stages of our career. Because if you're not able to allocate 10% of your net income today towards saving or investments, you won't be able to do it even after you have doubled or tripled your income or salary 2, 3, or 4, 5 years down the line. The third tip or action item is about reinforcement. Maybe after watching this video or reading a good book on personal finance or watching a good video, you might get motivated. But believe me, that initial enthusiasm or motivation will die down in a few months. So what is required is to continuously reinforce that initial enthusiasm. This can be done through regular reading of books related to personal finance, or watching videos, or following some YouTube channels which particularly deals on personal finance. So hope you find this video helpful. If you do, please like the video and leave your comment and feedback below. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do consider subscribing and hit the notification button so that you'll get an update every time I upload a similar video on personal finance. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day.